Thank you, everybody, for joining us on today's Creators Live. Woo! I'm sure the title kind of gave it away a little bit. Today, we're talking about Brian's sweatshop and how to maintain it and keep everything in good working order. And we're not talking about maintenance. We're not talking about specifics of the machines. We're talking about your supplies and your accessories and things of that nature to make sure you store everything well and things of that to that effect. So that's what we're going for today. All of you guys, I see mostly my regulars here, so you guys know the drill with the cameras, and I see the cameras coming on. We got Mr. Jim in today. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Jim. Always happy to see you in here. And those of you who are in the attendees list, we're going to invite you to become a panelist so you can turn on your camera, get that face-to-face interaction, get those questions answered that you have burning in your heart. I know you guys always have questions that you maybe hold back because it's not relevant, but this is a forum to ask away. It helps not just yourself, not just me, but it'll help maybe some people who have those same questions, then they're just a little shy to ask them. And I saw you waving at me, Mr. Michael. Nice to see you. Okay, all right, so let's get into some wins. If anybody here watching is new, we always start out our Creators Live with some wins. Well, Victor's already unmuted, so I'll let you go first.
All right, so I haven't been here for the last couple of weeks because we bought a house, and we were debating whether we were going to, I was running everything out of a 300 square foot loft, and we're debating whether we wanted to buy a commercial spot or buy a bigger house. So we bought a bigger house, and the move just was tiresome, but we have an awesome location, and I will tour you guys next week once everything's in its place. But we have two-car garages that are connected together, and I have the electrical in, so we're running the heat presses, the ovens, everything all at the same time. We've had the plumbing done, and so we will start putting through a lot more stuff, and so it's been a ride, but it's been fun, and sales are hopping like all the sports baseball club stuff. So I'm hundreds of orders behind, which is a place I like to be. So we're trying to kill it, and I think we are. So
excellent.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right, next up is Michael and Yvonne.
Two things. Michael and I are celebrating Friday, our 33rd year married.
Oh, yeah.
And this weekend, Michael and his brother printed about 700 t-shirts.
So, you broke up there a little bit at the end. 700
t-shirts in 2 days.
700 shirts in 2 days. That's amazing. Was that across multiple machines or just on the DTF?
It was across screen printing, DTF, and yeah, that was it. Screen printing and DTF.
Okay. Mr. Tony's looking jacked in his tank top today.
How you doing?
Doing awesome. What's something you can share with us from this last week?
Okay. It's a small win, but I'm in between with this. A lady wants a shirt for her business, so small order, 30 shirts, but I'll take it.
There you go. Yeah, perfect. Some folks have bigger wins, but every win is still a win, and we
Yes.
love to hear it, big and small. And that's amazing. Glad to hear it.
Thanks.
Okay. All right. So if there's no other volunteers, we'll go ahead and get into it. I'll give you guys a little bit of a break today. Won't pick on everybody. But yeah, so I wanted to talk about how you store your stuff, how you keep your accessories so that everything is in good working order when you need it. So one thing that I wanted to start out with, I know we have the inks and everybody wants to know about the humidity and the temperature for the inks and such, but I wanted to take it a step more basic and talk about what you're plugging your printer into. So your heat press is meant to go straight into the wall, but your printer should be on a surge protector. Before I started at OmniPrint, I didn't know the difference between a surge protector and a power strip. So I thought I'd go ahead and take the time to explain it to you guys, just in case you didn't know there was a difference either. So on here, standard power strip, it's got the extra plugs into the wall normally. And what you're looking for if it's a power strip is it's just the plugs, and that's it, and maybe an on-off switch. For a surge protector, you're gonna have a little, usually a protected light, or it'll say some sort of reset or some sort of indication that the fuse is going in there and that your surge protector is functioning how it should. And then grounded is another one. A little bit dark today. We only have the one camera going, but I think you guys get the idea. It's important that you protect your investment. I don't need to tell you guys that frying your machine with a, with what could have been prevented using a $5-6 surge protector, I think it's worth it. So if you don't have your machines on surge protectors, I recommend you get them. Even if you have a really fancy, newly wired house and all of that, take the extra step, do yourself the favor, because if something were to happen and you fry your machine, boards go out, you're going to be down, and we want to prevent that. So thought I'd give you guys a little lecture on that today to start out. Another thing that I've seen a lot that I wanted to touch on is your spray gun. How many people here use the spray gun? Okay, so at least this will benefit Tony. So Tony, when you're finished with your spray gun for the day, you're going to take apart the back piece, and you're just working with this front piece. I'm going to come back around, and don't leave your pre-treat in here. Even if you have a bunch of different bottles, don't leave your pre-treat in there, because what will happen is all of the pre-treat will settle at the bottom, and you'll go to pour it out and change out the pre-treat, but there's going to be that residue, and you'll go and clean it before you put new pre-treat in. But all of that residue that you're washing out of the bottle is stuff that should have been in the pre-treat. So you're slowly diluting your pre-treat by leaving it in the jug and letting it settle. So when you're finished with your pre-treat, you empty this guy out. And to get the best bang for your buck, you're going to empty it all out. And then when you're cleaning this, don't just take this straight over to the sink and clean it. Pull the trigger, and it'll empty all the fluid that's stored inside first. So you can take the pre-treat out of this section of the gun as well. And then all of this can go back into the jug. Then you clean it if there's any leftover. But definitely don't store any pre-treat in the spray gun overnight. Okay, Tony, any questions about that, since you're the main person for this one? Easy peasy. Okay. Other maintenance stuff on the spray gun is pretty simple. It's just, take off the little collar there and clean. All right, next up, Platens. Let's see, I think I'm going to see some hands raised for this one. How many people have multiple Platens for their printers? Okay, good. That's what I was expecting. So this one's out to you guys. How do you store your Platens? Do you store them flat, side by side, like what I have here? Stack them up. You do not. Put them on end. There'll be a pretty low profile, and you're not going to be warping your print area. If you stack them all up like this, I know with these ones, it's not very conducive to stacking them, but let's say you have the adult Platen under here. All that extra weight on top over a sustained period, your Platen can bend. So if you want to keep good shape, stack them up like so. And there you go. I've seen, there was one customer I trained a long time ago. I think this was 2018, I want to say. He had a little pegboard wall set up, and the little holes in the bottom of the platen, he just stuck onto the wall. So that would be another really awesome one if you can get a setup like that, or maybe a little hook or something to hang them. I just want you guys to avoid stacking them on top of each other so that you don't end up bending your platens over time. Because as you guys know, that's a potential recipe for head strikes. We don't like head strikes, do we? Also wanted to talk about DTF powder. Tony says he stacks vertically. So how I demonstrated there, standing up on end. Nice. Okay, good. DTF powder. So if you guys use the powder tray, it's not recommended that you leave the powder in the tray. It'll collect moisture over time and get very chunky and moist. I'm not sure if the camera will pick it up, but this looks like, you know, beach sand consistency. It's pretty clumped together. Granted, you can go ahead and break it up before you use it, but you'll never get all of those huge chunks out, and that'll lead to less consistent coverage on your DTF prints when you're powdering. So that's why the DTF starter kits for the free jet, those come with the funnel so you can put the powder away when you're finished. So you want to make sure you store that in a cool, dry environment. Any questions about that? No. Man, you guys are making it really easy to just burn through all the stuff I wanted to talk about in the first like couple of minutes, and then we'll just have Q&A for the rest. I guess that's what you guys want. So last I wanted to talk about was mainly the inks and storing the inks. When your ink is in the printer, you want to make sure that your ink bottles, and this is for any of our machines, you want to make sure that your ink bottles are not exposed to direct sunlight. They'll heat up more than they're supposed to, and the consistency will change. You can have problems like clogging of the head or lines because the consistency will change. The viscosity will be different. So you want to make sure to keep in mind that your printer should not be in direct sunlight. Okay. And no printing outside unless in the shade. Yeah, if one of you guys sets up your printer outdoors, I want to see it. I got to see pictures of that. Maybe maybe Ron's doing that. He has an event right now. Maybe maybe he's got his printer out in the sun. He needs to be hearing this right now. Okay, and then temperature ranges. Mauricio, can you scooch my notes over so I give them the right numbers? Like the window itself, the like left side is cut off. There we go. Okay, so we're looking for, okay, leave it in one place, please. So we're looking to keep your inks in a temperature range of 60 to 80 degrees, and then a humidity range of 45 to 65 to avoid negatively impacting the print quality and such. So basically, if it's comfortable for you, it should be good for the inks. That's really what it comes out to. I know some people's shops, their sweatshops are a little more difficult to environment control to help with that, but it'll make a big impact on your print quality and consistency. And then make sure you do pay attention to the shelf life of your inks and supplies. They do eventually expire, so if you don't use up your inks before they expire, then you probably have order volume problems, but don't be using that expired ink, please. You can probably get away with, trying out expired pre-treat because that's not really going in the machine. So you don't really run a risk of clogging, but you might experience suboptimal print quality results as a result of that. Jim, anything to add to this stuff? I know this is totally your wheelhouse. You literally wrote the reference guide that I used for this.
Oh. No, I think
Covered it.
you
Didn't leave
nailed
anything
it.
out. Cool. Okay, Benny has a question. Mr. Benny, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to know what's the normal lifespan of these inks compared to the white,
Compared to the white ink,
right? The colors versus the white, or how long do they normally, do they last, they're good up for a year? Or the white 6 months, or what's the ratio?
yeah, it's a year shelf life. I think across the board, I don't think the white has a different shelf life than any of the other inks, to my knowledge. And the expiration date will be printed on the bottle. Great question. Let's see here. Any other questions about this stuff? Because that's what I wanted to do a little PSA on, is keep your printer out of direct sunlight, use a surge protector, empty your pre-treat, put your powder away, and don't use expired ink. And don't stack up your Platens on top of each other. Tony, go ahead, Tony.
Now on the inks, should I, like on the bottles, before I pour them into the thing, should I shake them up? Before pour them into the
Colors, no. White, yes.
Okay,
Yeah, colors don't suffer the same problem that white does with the separation. It's
okay,
because the white pigment is heavier, so it separates from the fluid, but you don't get that problem with the colors.
so just white only, just shake it up before you pour it into the bottle?
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
And then shake the bottle on the printer in the morning before you start up.
I do that.
Good.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions, you guys? We can branch out to other topics if we don't have anything specifically about this. Another thing I wanted to talk about, if there were no more questions, I wanted to talk about upcoming promo opportunities for you guys. I know last year and the year before, we did some Creators Live topics revolving around various holidays and seasonal events. And we have some coming up, so I wanted to pick your brains and see what you guys were working on, specials or promotional wise, for maybe stuff like back to school. Back to school season is upon us. Any action going on? Victor Rubio, you are the school specialist. Are you doing any back to school advertising?
So my business model really doesn't go advertising directly to the customer. My clients do that because I provide the merchandise for them.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, club baseball is in effect.
Mm-hmm.
So we do have all of their jerseys and their hats and everything. It's all one-stop shop.
There you go.
And we're promoting that. We do have like for Spy Ninjas, which is some YouTubers out of Vegas. We are doing like a backpack and a water bottle in one, and then a lunch box and some writing utensils on another. And then if you buy the 2 packs, you get a sticker set for free. So just kind of stuff like that. I mean,
Cool.
we just use it to move volume, get our average order value up. And then the stickers, they cost us 25 cents. I think we sell them for $5. So they feel like they get a $5 value, and it's really, it's easy to stomach that.
Nice.
Always have that one item that you can make really fast and really cheap, and make that part of it. Like for the holidays, we'll probably do like a free ornament with an order over $100, and the ornaments cost me 30 cents, and I can make 6 at a time. So that kind of stuff is easy to do, and we sell those for $15-20 because we put their name on it or whatever it is.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I think the term for that is a loss leader.
That's exactly the term.
Yeah. So if you guys don't have a loss leader, I think Victor's onto something here, that Even though we're not department stores where that's usually the term, the main buzzword, that'll apply to you guys too. And great job, Victor, for getting the jump on utilizing that technique. Get more eyeballs on the products.
Yeah, well, the other thing that we're gonna do is I have one client that we do a lot of product on demand, and it's not custom. We're just providing their inventory line for them because they didn't want to invest in it.
Okay.
And the one drawback is that we do take all the returns back. So if a customer doesn't like it, we will take that shirt back, and we have 2 or 3 boxes full of like unsold stuff. And I could go through and rummage through the box and try to figure out if someone ordered it and replace it, but I don't do that. What I do is I will sell a mystery pack. So we'll agree that those items that are in return, if the cost on 3 t-shirts is really more around maybe $7 or $8 for all 3 printed, but regular price, that's like that's $325 shirt, so that's $75 worth of stuff. We'll say, hey, for $20, you get these mystery shirts that you don't know what they are. They're non-refundable. And we agreed to reduce the commission and the cost and all that, and just kind of get those out of here. So we'll do that closer to the holidays, because it's a really easy way to get rid of just volumes of stuff that you have sitting around that people in that general genre want and like, but they won't buy it for themselves, but they'll like the mystery of it and the value.
Nice way to get rid of the overstock. That's good.
Yeah.
Nice. Anybody else doing some back to school situations? Michael and Yvonne shaking their head. Benny, no. Tony's thinking. He's like, yeah, I gotta get something for that. That sounds good. Okay, how about Halloween? I know Halloween's a little bit far off, but I've been seeing a lot of people talking about, starting to celebrate Halloween and decorating as soon as 4th of July is over. So is anybody leveraging the Halloween craze? I think we might be doing that. We'll switch over to the spooky Halloween background one of these weeks, and get celebrating early. Love Halloween. Okay, well, man, really wrung me out of ugly Christmas sweaters. Yeah, Jim. Yeah, we're gonna start celebrating Christmas already. There we go. So we're gonna drop a link in the chat for the knowledge base related to climate control requirements, and I guess we're gonna close it out, because I gave my PSA, answered questions, but sounds like you guys are killing it. I'm happy to hear that. Ultimately, I think it's maybe a good thing that there's no questions, because that means you guys are solid in your knowledge and you don't have anything else lingering that you need help with, which is awesome, but a little bit boring for me. Can't you guys have some more problems? Come on. I'm a problem-solving kind of guy. Throw me a bone here. That's the term I was going for, man. So I guess we'll close it out early. Okay, you guys. So thank you so much for joining us. So we'll see you next week, 2 p.m. Pacific. Make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube, because this one will be going up soon. Bye, guys.